I love this girl. Hey, stop it. Hi, Just James here from, I lost myself there. I actually didn't catch my breath. Just James here, Intermittent Fasting for Vegans on Facebook, and still the not yet produced intermittentfastingforvegans.com, but I own it. I just haven't done anything with it yet. Sorry I've been gone so long. We're going to call this video Just James Cafe. I'm going to go through some of the things that I do on a daily. Actually, I do it 5 days a week. Now that I've met goal weight, I know that I do talk to text a lot, and it looks like I say go away, and I find out later that I've messed everything up. No, you can't go outside, Cleo. Will you look at her? She's trying to go outside.
No, Cleo.
So anyway, let's talk about the Daily Dozen. So I do what's called a 20 by 4. I've always done a 20 by 4. I don't recommend starting that way. When I did it, it was really, really rough. I got into it, and but then I fell in love with it. It's the simplicity. A 20 by 4 or 2 by 2 is the best lazy man's way of eating ever invented. OMAD, okay. I did the OMAD thing, and I show how to do the OMAD thing. But you know what? I do a 20 by 4. It works for me, and that's why I do it. That's the nice thing about intermittent fasting, is that the program works, but you make it work for you. So you start out by a 12 by 12 for 2 weeks. You go to a 16 by 8 for a month. At that time, you reevaluate, saying, "Oh my gosh, I haven't lost a pound. So, am I eating, high caliber crap?" If you are, you can decide, I should push that into a smaller window and maybe do an 18 by 6, or maybe do a 20 by 4, or maybe you do an OMAD if you just want to keep eating high caliber crap. But another thought is that why don't I cut it in half, eat vegan junk food for half of my daily meal, and then eat whole plant foods for the other half. Take another month doing that. Reevaluate. Still not having a problem? That's when you need to let me know on the site, and we'll talk about it. So in the Daily Dozen, we have 2 cups of leafy green vegetables. Do you want me to make a salad? All right, if you insist. You have to have 2 cups of leafy green vegetables. Now I use exclusively kale and arugula. I just happen to like it. See how loosely I do that? So it's also arugula and or rocket, as my British friends call it. That's a horrible British accent. I'm sorry. Is also cruciferous, so you get your half cup of cruciferous vegetable in it that you need. I use just another cup. That's why it's a big ass salad. So there's 2 cups of that. Now you also need 2 cups of non-green leafy vegetables, so just regular vegetables. And in here, if you want to come in and take a look, I have rainbow peppers. I have a chopped up onion. I have chopped up rainbow carrots. The more colorful, the better. And then what you want is, and then I have some garlic, onions, and you want 2 cups of that. So there's one. There's about 3/4, because I keep my tomatoes separate because they like to be a little bit wet, and I don't want to put a bunch of wet in with that because then that'll just get gross. Right. Good. So we are not done yet. Still, I think that Dr. Greger proposes that you have a 1/4 of a teaspoon of turmeric on the Daily Dozen. Actually, I think there's some science out that you can actually have a little bit more. I have about a teaspoon. And make sure that you supercharge your turmeric with some black pepper. That's another video too. If you don't believe me, look up the connection between turmeric and black pepper, and please do not take turmeric supplements. Go for the real stuff. Go for organic. Put it together yourself, because there's a couple of studies showed that these turmeric supplements, because they find out that curcumin, which is the main ingredient in turmeric, is what they think does the job. So they give you like a bazillion milligrams of turmeric and that much more, I mean of curcumin, and then that much more of black pepper, and they're messing people's liver up. Alright, I'm just going to tell you. So black pepper, the reason why you want to take that with turmeric is because it paralyzes the liver. It says, hey, stop. We're going to let this turmeric around in the bloodstream for a little bit longer. We're not going to let you digest it as a water-soluble vitamin. Done. That's why you take black pepper with turmeric. That salad is there. So now to that, I will add 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed. I buy mine whole, and I grind them in a coffee grinder. And then, where are we at? Daily Dozen. So, green leafies. Oh, my beans. Alright, so I started wanting something more warm and hearty. So now I take 5 cans of beans and I put them in with some vegetables. I really don't count these vegetables towards my day because I'm taking out a lot of the nutrients with putting heat on them. So I just put them in here and I spice them differently every time. I'm going to be honest with you, sometimes I just go and I find vegan spice packets, usually Indian style, and put it in there. I don't, and then I just simmer it until that I can split it out into 5 different little soup containers. Actually, they fill up about one of these. That's why I call it my big-ass soup, or my big-ass beans, whatever you want to call it. Now, fruits. You need to have 1 cup of, or one half cup of berries, and I use exclusively organic wild blueberries that are in my freezer that I forgot to put out here. So I just put in my half a cup of organic blueberries, and then I put in 2 tablespoons of dried goji berries. Some people don't like them; they're super good for you. I put in 5 dates for sweetness. You will not need anything else for sweetness, I promise you. You won't need maple syrup, you won't need date syrup, you won't need date sugar, and you won't need any other of the most horrible things that you could put in there that's other than that. Blackstrap molasses, I'll give you that. I put 2 figs in each, I cut it in 4. In my salad, let's go back to the salad, I put a teaspoon of chia seeds. Chia seeds, it's found that if you put them in anything whole, you're getting about 10, 15, maybe 20% of the nutrients. You need to grind your chia seeds. If you want to get the full benefit out of your chia seeds, you need to grind them in the coffee grinder and then use them in whatever you're going to use them, because then you'll get the full benefit of chia seeds. I read it, it's scientific, I can't promise you where it is. So you're just going to have to believe me because you believe me, because why would I lie to you? I put a teaspoon of hemp seeds. These are all not on the Daily Dozen. I just like the health benefits. So I not a teaspoon, I put a tablespoon of hemp hearts on there. All organic. I don't use anything that's not organic, or try not to. And then when you have your salad, make sure that you have at least 5 walnut halves with it, or whatever other nut you like. But walnuts just happen to be the best nut that you can eat. You can have some almonds. I don't mind almonds. Make sure that they're raw. You don't want to eat any nut or seed or anything that's been roasted, because you have to worry about acrylamide. You have to worry about AGEs. Those are things that you can Google. These are my raw Brazil nuts that I have 4 on the 4th. You guys know that. Guys that are over 40, 1 a day. Keep that prostate healthy. You don't want to just sit there and handful eat Brazil nuts, because you're going to push up against the upper limits of selenium, and you might get toxic. Just James Big Ass Juice. Okay, so this I got to get put back in the refrigerator. In this goes kale, garlic, dandelion greens, ginger, a little bit of turmeric. Did I say onions already? 1 apple, 1 habanero pepper, a little bit of colored peppers. What else? Celery. Oh, yeah. Celery. Yeah, a whole bundle of celery. and that makes me 3 of these. I put a seal on it that sucks out all the air. You can get one on Amazon, and no, don't ask me if I make any money off of this, because I don't, and you'll just piss me off. Find it yourself there, and it just sucks all the air out of it so that it'll last for 3 days in the fridge. Oh, let's stay right there. What else, honey? Oh, big ass fruit, chopped up, a bunch of melons and stuff like that. So I think we hit everything on the Daily Dozen. I'm sure that those of you that know that I didn't. Oh, Nooch. I love Nooch. Make sure it's closed next time when you shake it. I just filled my container and I just put it in the fridge when I fill it. I actually like Bragg's nutritional yeast the best, but I found those at Costco and I couldn't give it up. Recycling. Alright, I'm down to using the very least amount of plastic as possible, but there's still plastic out in the world. So here's what I want you to do. Take your plastic bag. You're not finished with this yet, because you don't want to see sea creatures like, that's not cool. So, oh, I'm sorry, Bogey, did I scare you? So just take a couple of seconds. If you just cut it right down the middle, if you're not going to do more than that, do just that. There. Nothing can get its head stuck in there. This thing. This is a nightmare. Cut the corners off of it. Cut the corners off of it. Cut it down the middle. And this all goes into trash. It can't go in the recycle bin because you'll gum up their stuff and then they'll stop being able to be profitable. This is how I buy my greens, but they still come with this little thing. So I just wind it up as good as I possibly can so that nothing can get its head stuck in it. This celery bag, and I'm trying to find farmers markets that are closer to my food prep day so that I can stop using plastic altogether. There are some places that will allow you to just tear the plastic off and leave it at the grocery store and let them be responsible for it. Here's the problem. I don't trust them to do with it what I will do. This thing, I'm going to have to get this stopped sealing well, so I'm going to have to get my craft scissors and cut it. Could you imagine? That's a forever necklace around whatever animal gets that on there. So just be mindful, if you would. Even this little plastic thing right here that held some, I think, garlic in it. Which, yes, I've gone to just buying heads of garlic. There. Just make sure that nothing can get into it. I think I'm out of time. I don't know. I get 10 minutes.
It's at 13.
We're at 13? And it's still going?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. See, look. Do you want to do this for the rest of your life if you were a sea creature? Oh, that's a... I'm not comfortable. Please. Please. If this is in a landfill, it will blow away and it's going to end up in some piece of water somewhere. Tear that thing up. I hate these things, and I'm trying to find a way. This is what my ginger comes in. This is a nightmare here. I don't know how. I don't know how to make this safe, so I've got to stop using it. Because if something gets in there, and I'm not going to burn it because it's plastic, because that's just going to be in the ocean. We're going to read. If there's anything else that you would like to know,
I have a
please put it in
question.
your comments. Yes, ma'am.
Why do you have to grind up the flax seeds?
Well, because if you don't grind up the flax seeds, they're just going to pass through your whole, and you're not going to get the nutrition out of them. You're not going to get your nutritional value. And you don't want to buy them ground, because if you buy them ground, they have a very short shelf life. So I grind 6 tablespoons, 5 or 6 tablespoons, and then put them in the refrigerator, and then use 1 tablespoon a day, because you don't need 7 tablespoons does not equal 7 tablespoons after it's been ground.
Okay.
It's nice and fluffy.
And another question for you. The chia seeds, you said those need to be ground for maximum benefit.
Mm-hmm.
Will they still retain the water when they're ground?
No, you will have a gelatinous goo that you don't appreciate. So you have to come to terms with, but what you will have is you'll have a little swollen ball of water in your body, and it'll help you stay hydrated. So it depends on what you want out of your chia seeds. If you want chia seeds the way that most people traditionally want chia seeds, then don't grind them. If you want chia seeds and you want more of the nutritional health benefit, which if you're eating a whole plant food diet, come on, have your chia seeds whole. Have 2 of them. What else? Is that it?
I think so.
Hey, how do you do this? How do you do this? Somebody tell me how to do this thing.
My husband wants to learn how to floss.
I know how to floss. Peace out.